I just said I don't care about being like. Now, if I'm wrong about something, I say I'm wrong, but it ain't really too much shit that I regret doing. You know what I'm saying? I can probably count
Yeah.
on one hand, and I can't think of one thing at the moment. But nah, because I'm not reckless. You know what I'm saying? Even if
Mhm.
I sound reckless, let me like a lot of times people that sit
You're
there and be
calculated with
right, like a
Alzheimer's,
lot of
right?
people sit there
Yeah.
and be like, Kim is wild. That nigga, all my shit is calculated. I'm not no wild nigga by accident. My mother had me in private school. I started going to public school in junior high school, so I'm like, this shit weird. You know what I'm saying? Like, nigga, I'm well educated. I chose not to go to school after a while because all I really wanted to do was play basketball. So if I passed 4 classes and I didn't have to go to gym because I played, I passed them with 85, 90 joints and I didn't go to the other class. Any class I failed, I didn't participate in. I don't want to know about global history. Fuck is that gonna help me?
Hey yo, so I got an inbox the other day asking like, what's going on with you and SKC? And I want to address this, but before I do, this video is sponsored by Knows Your Organic. Dirty folks, dirty folks, dirty folks. Knows your soul, knows your soul. All right, so I don't have no beef with SKC, like none. My ain't no problem. My issue with SKC is he was being presumptuous, saying that people can't relate to certain avenues because of the time invested. Whatever, but whatever, right? So I got tagged and was like, "Yo, SKC doing a video about you," and I got there. Ended the video. I didn't even see the video, and I'm not gonna go back and watch it. But I'm looking at the comment section, and the comment section is wild because it's like all these guys are supposed to be nerds, right? I don't think people know the difference between a nerd and a geek, but I digress. And 3 comments toward the end of the stream caught my attention, and those are the comments that I'm going to address right now. So one of the comments was some dude passion something, and he was like, "Yo, I hate Dirty from Chicago. I heard he rep Chicago." And I'm, who the hell is dude, right? So I click his page. Everything on this page is about interracial dating, SYSBM, getting your passport. I said, nigga, how you mad about me repping Chicago and you don't rep Chicago? You trying to rep Asia? You trying to rep white girls from Wisconsin? Like, what type of bizarre world am I in, bro? This is crazy work. Don't know, dude. Don't get it. The second comment that caught my attention that I just thought was funny was Freeman's Journal talking about when he was a kid, he collected comic books, which is geek shit, not nerd shit. But he collected comic books, and no other black kids collected comic books. He had to rely on his grandma to take him places because he didn't have any friends of interest. Well, friends that had the same interest. And I'm like, yo, that's the parameter? Comic books? Like, that's crazy work, bro. That's crazy work. So you got something. If it's all about comic books, if that's the barrier of entry to nerddom, here's a few for you. The whole Craven series, all six, right? I was a Spider-Man kid. Secret Wars. That's how far back I go collecting comic books. When Stacy Returns. Then you get into the first edition of comic books. If that's just the barrier of entry is you like to read recreationally, let's go to the first editions. I should take you better care of them. First edition Secret Missions, right? First edition of Firestar. First edition of Booster Gold. Look at it. #1 edition. First edition of Mask. Y'all remember Mask? You know, that's some old school shit right here, Mask. First editions, right? I should really put them in plastic. If all it takes is to be able to read recreationally, and that's what make you a nerd, low barrier. We used to actually do our own little action figures as a kid and pass them through class. I guess it's a regional thing. And the third one that caught my attention, because once again, I did not watch the video, was SKC saying I said something about his wife. Didn't mention your wife, my nigga. Not one time. Like, not direct. What I said was, on these internet streets, dudes who date interracially act like they're not part of black males. That's what I said. And I used I used Trey as an example because I couldn't use Charlie. You don't know Charlie, who moved to Appleton, Wisconsin, married a white girl. You don't know Kelsey, who moved to Iowa, married a white girl. You don't know Ant, who moved to Indiana, married a white girl. Y'all don't know these guys that I grew up with who got a white girl and was like, oh, right? It's something about, but they still cool dudes. We still cool. But they got a white girl was like, yo, nigga, I ain't never come back to the. I'm like, yo, that's the barrier. Smashing non-black women. Coming from the guy who say that black is for women, gays, and felons. Coming from the guy who say like, yo, women don't come in black. Y'all, that's what y'all gonna come to me with. But no, I ain't got no problem with SKC, and I don't even know it's white. I have no problem with white. It was more about the way that people act once they marry a non-black woman, which is cool because I don't even trust men who marry black women. So I don't even know what the divide is. So after all that happened, right? I call the nigga Gorilla Pete. I said, yo, Gorilla Pete, am I a wild nigga? He was like, hell yeah, you're a wild nigga. I'm like, where? He like, man, he said, yeah, you wild. He said, but at the same time, you really not.
Nah, because I'm not reckless. You know what I'm saying? Even if I sound reckless, like a lot of times, people that sit
You're calculated with all the time.
Right, like a lot of people sit there and be like, Kim is wild. That nigga, all my shit is calculated. I'm not no wild nigga by accident. Nigga,
It's like wild things just happen to you when you go outside. And that was the whole parameter of the SKC argument, like, yo, you couldn't go outside and still be a nerd because you didn't have time to go outside and still be a nerd. And I'm like, I didn't play video games. I did play video games, but when I'm not playing video games, I went outside. Same 4 hours of leisurely time, right? And at the same time, I'm not claiming to be a nerd. I used to have the same discussion with Kanto, rest in peace. And we were up one night, bro, and we was talking about who was the best captain on Star Trek and the Star Wars trilogy, and like he was looking at my library at hundreds of books about various topics, right? Encyclopedias and books on banking and finance, that type of thing. And he was like, "You're a nerd." And I'm like, "What?" He was like, "Bro, you sitting here talking about Star Trek and Battlestar Galactica and you're a nerd." I'm like, "Yo, bro, everybody that go to Comic-Con is not a nerd, my nigga." You're like, hey, we argued it, so I'm not claiming nerd. As a matter of fact, I was arguing against it with my boy who was like, yo, it's cool to be a nerd. So I'm not even taking that stance. My stance is, why can't you have multiple interests? Why can't I fuck the nation holes and still be part of the Young Republican Party? Like, it's strange energy, like the way that people cuckold themselves into one position, one box, and then when you say, okay, cool, you putting people in a box, that must be your box. Nah, not me, man. I ain't in no box. I'm a universal nigga. I'm better. Anyway, Gorilla Pete, am I a wild nigga? He was like, hell yeah, you're a wild nigga. I'm like, where? He like, man, he said, yeah, you wild. He said, but at the same time, you really not. Like, it's just wild shit happen when you go outside and you bring up his favorite story, his favorite Tyler tale. I'm not gonna tell the whole story, but it was just, I walked outside one day on my way to the store, and a dude I'm cool with, but like we weren't best friends. Like we know each other, like, hi. And he was like, yo, folks, I got a girl in the crib on her knees. She got to suck 5 dicks. You want to be one of the 5? I'm like, yo, free dick suck? Yeah, I'm with that shit, bro. Let's do it, bro. Let's go. He was like, yo, you just went outside to get your little cheese doodles and end up getting your dick sucked. Like, yo, these are how your stories go. Like 85% of your stories are just being outside and wild things happen, and you match the energy of what happened. And I'm like, yeah. And so people who never went outside think that outside equals whatever you think it equal to. And then then he said something real talk. He said, You can't be mad that the brand is working. You want to be dirty, folks. You can't be mad that the branding is working. And I'm like, you right, my nigga, you right. Because I had to think about, why am I dirty, folks? And I keep telling people, I name myself. Like, nobody named me dirty, folks. I say, man, why am I dirty, folks? The idea first came from Killer Mike when he was talking about cryptic code.
Like, put it like this: DJ Drum, Sense, and Cannon took the fall for all mixtape DJs. They got arrested for selling the music that labels gave them to sell to make their artists hot, right?
Speak on
Now, out of nowhere, we have streaming,
Right.
and everybody gets the music free. You guys paid the price for that,
Right.
And to me, you should be celebrating the culture. We don't celebrate our outlaws,
That's
right?
right.
So we celebrate Godfather's Pizza, but we don't celebrate Cripple Cola. Well, we're celebrating it now. What I'm saying is that we should do things that are out of the box.
In the original clip that I saw, he was talking about how Crips and Bloods have a built-in branding because the world knows who they are. So to name it that was part of his branding initiative, and I thought that was kind of slick. And then I said, yo, how much branding do I see for folks? And there's countless pictures. They used to have a O'Hare Airport challenge. When you go to O'Hare, like, just throwing the pitchforks. You flying from Asia, flying from California, whatever. If you have a layover in Chicago, you take a selfie throwing up the pitchforks. That was a branding thing. People throwing up pitchforks at weddings. People throwing up pitchforks on random events. Like, it's a brand. And I don't do this for black men. I'm not dirty folks for black men. I don't, because black people tell you that the way to be successful is to market to black women as the biggest consumers. And I'm like, yo, they 1% of wealth. I'm going after the 52% of men in America. And if men can identify a brand and men can see the brand for what it is, because everybody else doesn't take it as seriously as quote unquote colors. So men will be like, yo, that's funny branding. And that's what I do it for. So I'm on track. With that being said, bro, ain't no beef with SKC. Man, grab you some soap, take your Marry Your Secretary course, love your brothers as you love yourself, feed the pack, tribe up.